Slotcar adventurers back again, and this week I'm going to reveal the new layout for the new Slotcar room. So, what did I do? Did I do a brand new layout? Did I do the same old layout? Or maybe I did all of the above. Let's check it out, shall we? Well, here it is, Slotcar adventurers, the all-new Hughes Garage Slotcar layout. As you can see, it's based on the old layout, but if you look a little bit closer, there's some major changes. Let's check them all out, eh? On this end of the layout, things are very similar to how they were, but on the other end of the layout, there's some major differences. Not just one, but two of the three bridges have been removed, and in their place is this exciting new section. That Slotcar guy had a fantastic video a few months back about compound radius turns, and that's exactly what I've put in here. I wanted to create more of an extreme mountain pass, so I've got two 230 curves going into two 160 curves at the apex, which open back out into another 230 curve. That takes us into this subtle zigzag section, something I've seen on many a real-life racetrack and something that I've always wanted to feature on my layout. Look at this camera angle. The cars are going to look fantastic as they roar through there towards the main bridge. At the other end of the bridge, the Predator's Gorge section has been opened up and expanded. It too is featuring some compound radius turns, combinations of 230s and 160s, making for a much more exciting and more dynamic drive through this section of the track. There'll also be some extreme elevations created throughout this mountain pass section of the layout, which lead to the highest point here and this sudden drop. Let's call it the Super Dipper for now, but I've got a slightly more colourful name for it once all the scenery is done. Something that's going to prove to be very iconic on this layout. At the far end, I did in fact go with that idea that I experimented with for the pit lane. Love this, works so much better and makes so much more sense. Now with the two smaller bridges removed from the equation, this has really opened up this section of the layout, which in turn provides for lots of scenery opportunities, and I've got quite a lot planned for this section. Starting with the Mad Max Road Warrior exhibit, which will no longer be here. Instead, it's going right here. There's more room to work with. I'll be adding a little bit extra to it this time, and it'll be laid out much better than before. So be sure to keep an eye out for a Post-Apocalypse 2 video in the weeks ahead. Right next door to the new Mad Max exhibit is going to be a brand new feature, a live rock concert featuring flashing lights, a video backdrop and heaps of audience members gathered together on both sides of the track. This is going to be quite an ambitious project and will no doubt be one of the biggest reveals to date. And then right alongside the live rock show, Red Bull World Theme Park. Yes, you heard right. Everything Red Bull is being condensed into this section of the layout to create an awesome theme park, including more rides, merch kiosks, food stalls, lots of people, and whatever else I can fit in this space. One thing's for sure, it's certainly going to be unique. And there you have it, Slotcar adventurers, my new layout based on the old layout. And hopefully everybody's happy. I know I am. Heaps of exciting new projects to do over the coming weeks and lots of additions to add to the room itself, starting with the first of the wall fixtures, thanks to the lovely people at IKEA. And next up will be the display cases. Nice. Well, there you go, Slotcar adventurers. It's all coming together rather quickly. Now, let me walk you around all these new scenery ideas I've got. This is going to be great. Now, Mad Max. As we know, it was previously up this end, and it turned out pretty good. But there's a few things about Mad Max. First of all, if you go back and check out the post-apocalypse video, where I actually finish all the items and I have them displayed on the tinker table, I'm showing them before I start working on this area, that layout is pretty much more in line with what I had in mind for the placement of everything. But once I got it onto the table, because of the sweeping cliff face thing, I found there wasn't the room that I thought I had. So I had to sort of skew things around, and then I had to hide the car bodies behind, and it wasn't exactly as I'd intended, but it still turned out great. It worked. And then, of course, once I added the Dunlop, this was always going to be Dunlop corner. I sort of did them out of order, but once I added this, looked great. But as I've discussed before, I felt it was all a little bit overcrowded, and that awesomeness that corner had before adding the Dunlop control tower and crosswalk, we liked that so much, didn't we? And even Magnetic Racing, they've still got it on the front of their website. So with this, I thought, well, now with these bridges out of our way, and it's opened up the whole midsection, there's no obstacles, we can really go to town here and make this super exciting. So Mad Max is being relocated here. Now, the way I think about it, it is an exhibit, isn't it? And exhibits open, they're there for a few weeks, people go and see them, then the exhibit closes. The following year, if it was a success, the exhibit usually returns, and this time it's bigger and better than ever. And that's exactly what we're going to have here. I've decided to completely redo it from scratch, and I'm going to have the layout more in line with how I originally intended it. But we're going to have that awesome sweeping shot returned here. This is going to look magnificent. And there might be a few little extra surprises in store. We shall see. A few little additions that I might have come across. I won't guarantee anything, but we'll see. And I better paint that dog properly, hey? So I'll probably start on this. This will be the first bit of scenery I do for the whole layout. Now, another thing I want to point out is how I'm going to do it this time. If we have a look down here, I went and got a couple of these 6mm sheets of MDF, and I'm going to need a few more. So how I'm going to use that is I'm going to lay down some paper in between the track and trace around the edge. I'll cut that out, use that as a stencil, and then either using a coping saw or a jigsaw, I'll cut out the MDF, and that will just sit perfectly inside that section like a jigsaw, bringing the level of the scenery up almost to the top of the track itself. By the time you put the glue on and you go sprinkle, 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 and add your little bushes and whatnot, it'll be a consistent level, unlike before where no matter what I did, it was still a track on top of a table kind of thing. Now it'll be a bit more authentic. I'm looking very forward to that. Also, I'll be preparing it away from the track so there's no glue dribbling and messing things up. So that's going to be pretty much everywhere in between the track, all through the middle here, all under here, everywhere. It'll be one great big jigsaw puzzle made of MDF. Now, next door to the Mad Max scene, which is going to look fabulous, I'm very excited. This is a new feature. I'm going to create a live rock concert. Of course I am. And this is going to be really cool. So we're going to build a platform, get that stage up a bit higher. I might build a bit that juts out the front and the mic's in the front. I've got to get a rock band, set of figures. They're proving to be very difficult to get. But we'll have a drummer and a singer and a couple of guitarists and the bass player. We're going to have flashing lights. I'm going to create a line array PA system dangling from the sides. Maybe some giant inflatable figurines like you see at these big shows. And it's going to have a video display at the back, repurposing one of these, old iPhones. So The figures won't be painted to resemble any particular band. They'll be kind of generic, but what will discern which band is playing is what we play on the back screen there, the video screen. And since the audio will be emanating from the phone, it'll sound like the audio's emanating from the stage. And this is the really cool part. These are the good, well, they're not seats at standing room only, but these are the expensive tickets. And over in this side of the road, these are the cheap tickets. So the audience will be spread out all over here, and when the cars come racing through, they'll come zipping through the middle of the audience as the band plays. I think that's going to be pretty dangerous and pretty cool. So looking forward to creating that. This just gives you the rough idea, but it's going to be, well, there's going to be people there, there's going to be people in front of the Mad Max exhibit. And then that brings us to this. Instead of calling it Red Bull, what did we call it before? Precinct. Red Bull Precinct. It's now becoming Red Bull World Theme Park. Oh yeah. What other entity in motorsport would even have the audacity to put together a theme park? So this is going to be fun. And now it's kind of making a lot more sense than it ever did before. All the pretty colours. I moved this light out here. Oh, they're having a bit of a photo shoot here. They're doing a new calendar for the year, a racy one. I've put the Red Bull entrance here. It's kind of like Movie World at the Gold Coast. And what is it with these theme parks? It doesn't matter which one it is. They've all got a bloody Batmobile. So I've got the Tumbler. I think my favourite Batmobile. So don't know why, don't know what it means, but we got one. And then over here, this space is reserved. This is going to be a big epic build project coming up. We're going to build another thrill ride. And I'm going to use, I've got another one of these with 8 light heads. And I'm going to combine it with something else and make it a lot taller. And it's going to be a sort of a giant drop tower of terror kind of thing. So a little platform with people sitting on there, and I don't know if it'll be functional, but at least it'll look cool. And wait till you see what I'm going to call the ride. I think it's appropriate. Yeah, so that, and I've ordered a whole bunch of little stalls, food stalls and whatnot. There's a twin kiosk going here, and it's got food and a merch stand. What am I doing? I've dropped that. Knocked that over. So yeah, merch stand next to the stage. That's the only way musicians can make any money these days. The record labels give them nothing. No one makes any money out of albums anymore. The industry that we grew up with does not exist. So, and they've even got their fingers in the merch on the artists too. But anyway, let's not get into that. So Red Bull World Theme Park, that's going to be really cool, and boy are we going to light it up. And then this corner is going to be all about Dunlop. So it's going to be tyres, tyre walls, tyre barriers, tyre stacks, anything I can think of that involves tyres will make it better than ever. And I think because the Mad Max has been moved, it's now... I think it's going to work a lot better. I've even added this here, which seems to work. Now, as for this, I don't know whether to do a sheer cliff face or build something to suspend it. I like the idea of having it open so you can actually see through this time. The big ride there. But for this big drop here, the big dipper, I'm going to scratch build something pretty awesome. There will be some like wooden frameworks, and there's going to be like an old Aussie Outback corrugated iron roofing system all the way down. And maybe we'll call it the poop chute. Down the poop chute. Yeah, maybe. So that's going to be fun. The bridge is going to get an overhaul. It's going to be raised even higher than this. This hopefully will be the highest point. and it's going to get repainted. It's got to be widened, mainly because of this compound radius turn. The track doesn't end up exactly over the top of this. It's about 1 inch that far. So I'm going to widen the bridge and create a little pedestrian lane along here with a barrier in front. And it's going to be loaded up with spectators, photographers, and some are going to be looking this way. Now, why would I have them looking that way, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. I did say, well, we're not going to have the Mountains of Doom mural in here. Well, folks, I guess I told a lie, because we're going to have a mural. Yes, I'm going to add a backing board onto the whole back end of this layout, about as high as that mountain in the corner. And we will paint new Mountains of Doom, except this time in this area we're going to paint a Great Lake, and the mountains are off in the distance and around the Great Lake, and so some people will be looking out across the lake. We might even bring a little lagoon into this area here, come up with something really cool. Maybe the classic Boone car in the river crash wreck, you know, that might look cool. Or something maybe fill it full of man-eating crocodiles and have some swimmers in there going, that might be funny, yeah, maybe. Something for Betty to get into trouble with, I guess. Yeah. Alright, so that is going to be super duper to do. It's going to be extra cool. But the thing I'm looking forward to most is down this other end. The new section here. I'm going to use a bit more elevation, and this is going to ride quite a bit higher and banked, so this will be quite extreme. Lots of elevations will be done with this layout. Down here, that's going to be elevated and come sweeping down and around. Trying to get this flat look, you know, a track on a table thing. Going to put an end to that, make it more interesting. But here, I always wanted one of these. Now we're going to have one. We're going to create a proper tunnel through this bottom section. So the tunnel mouth will be about there, coming out here. And it's going to be one of those arch type, I don't know, Italian freeway type tunnels you see, with a single strip light down the middle. I think that's going to be quite safe. So that'll be sealed. And then over the top of that, we're going to have another mountain here. This guy's going, I'm afraid. We're going to do a whole new kind of mountain here. But what's different about these guys is they're going to have plateaus. And then straddling over the top of the section of track, which will be quite extreme and high banked, the Firestone crosswalk gantry thingy is going to be here in all its glory. So it'll probably sit up about here by the time it's all done. And a whole bunch of other stuff up here as well. It's going to be very, very cool. On the front here, I'm just going to do a sheer sort of stone wall thing, like the stone wall that's out there, all the way along to where the tunnel mouth is, and that'll be just open, use some sort of suspension creation for there. But yeah, that's going to be quite an exciting project in itself. What else? Oh, let me point out that this is higher than before, hence why I did the high hump test track. I wanted to see how the cars respond. Now, I didn't make this one quite as extreme as the entrance side of the hump. So I've, instead of 2 extra pieces of straight track, I've condensed this back to 1. You've got that part of the that kit, the flyover kit there. It's extended with 1 standard straight, and then there's our other piece taking us up to here. But it's still going uphill. It'll be much more extreme. This too will be banked as it meanders towards the bridge. Again, the bridge probably about 3 inches higher than what it is, maybe more. Yeah, a lot of work's going to happen to this bridge. Lots of ideas, and I'll leave it at that. You'll have to come back and see what I do. But definitely this will be quite a high point here. I don't know if I want it to continue to go high. I would like the idea is that you're on the downhill run once you come off the bridge, We've got another compound turn here, as mentioned before. But yeah, this structure over this should make this super fun. Something that's really iconic, something very, very unique to this new layout, and that's the idea I've got for now. Based on a ride that we had down near at Dream World here down at the Gold Coast here in Queensland. I don't think it exists anymore. They've had a few disasters at Dream World over the last few years. See, the park was bought out by corporate la-di-das, and they thought they could just profit without, well, I better not say anything because we get into liable area, but it was major news, and there was a few deaths that could have been avoided, but anyway, yeah, now they've taken down another ride, but this one, yeah, I really liked it, the Lost Mine log ride, and it's definitely inspired what I'm going to attempt to create for here. It should be very cool. So folks, that's about it. That's the wrap up. I can't see anything else. Everything else will be pretty much as before, but better. I'm really liking this corner. I've got another couple of these coming, so I'm probably going to have 1, 2, 3. I've relocated Pepsi here. It looks like a perfect fit. And even the Texaco, that looks great as well. So this corner will be better than ever. This, I think I'm going to bank it up as well. There'll be an elevation involved. We'll see. Can't wait to do the rock show. That's going to be so much fun. And yeah, that's about all, as they say. That's all, folks. So, what will they do first? Maybe I'll start on the Mad Max thing. Oh, yes, I'm going to do the middle first. On the old layout, I worked from the outside in, and once I went to work on the inside, I discovered you can't reach. You can't reach everything, so you're knocking things over. This time, I'm starting middle. I'm doing the whole middle section and then working my way out. So yeah, we'll probably start on the new, relocated, vibrant, invigorated Mad Max display. So, come back next week and yeah, we'll get cracking on that. Awesome. Is that a package?
Ooh, show us your package.
Wow! Well. United States Postal Service. Priority mail. Tracking. Insured. Whoever sent this, they've gone to quite a lot of trouble. Guess who it's from? Yes, we've received a package from Wildman. There's nothing going slosh inside, so he hasn't returned the favour. Yeah, I don't know if I want to open this. It's weird. It feels like there's not much in there, but at the same time, there's all sorts of things in there. Obviously a lot of packing, bubbles and whatnot. I don't know. Will we open it? No, sorry, Slotcar Adventurers. I'm not game. I don't want to be sitting here covered in poop. He probably somehow managed to pour... Oh, let's not even go into any detail. Yeah. And this has gotten here rather quickly. Maybe he sent this before the B team left. This is intriguing. What to do. I'm not going to open it. Sorry to keep you in suspense. No, I'm not going to open it this week. I'm going to get it checked out. Yeah, we don't know what's inside, do we? And before I open this, I'd like to see how he responds to, a certain other package. Haven't seen anything on the Wildman front as yet. He hasn't posted anything. Well, he did post that thing of Betty out there in the mountains. I don't know what that means. So, folks, let's play safe. Let's wait and see what Wildman is getting up to. And then we'll get this checked out and then we'll open it then. Okay? Okay, now I'm really worried. I'm hearing sirens. Let's put that over there. Folks, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to have to say, see you next week on Hughes Garage.